Hey guys, Chad here, and I have to apologize the past little bit. I've even been flip-flopping even more than normal, but with good cause. There's just been some big live events happening, so it's just giving me pause, and I just wanted to kind of pause give it all away for $500, just because even though it's worth way more than that, honestly, if you consider the workflow, the indicators, I don't think that's the answer. My true answer is to just share my journey. I'm not really focusing on selling my indicator per se, even though I do really like what they provide. I like the focus of the oracles, where we have the map, the matrix, we have the signals, and then we have the confirmation. And then I'm even actually adding another confirmation tool that kind of lines everything up. But I don't know if I need that. My eye test does enough, honestly, because the levels with price action. So this is a good example. You can see right at, so yeah, there's three things that I'm kind of looking at. Time, number one. So the goal is let the open happen 9:30 Eastern. Wait till around 10 and see if a level shows up. And so you can see really right here. I'm not saying signals, but I'm saying price action with the levels. So you can see this is the 6/8 level, and this up here. Well, right, the lines don't come all the way up. Anyway, just showing you that right here, this key level, there was a nice scalp down to these two GAN levels, right here. So that's one good trade. And then you can see in this window is really open from 10 a.m. to 11:30 Eastern. So then you can see this one right here. So you can see price comes up, retraces, so it breaks above this 4/8 GAN, and look, you have a nice long right to this GAN right here. So that's two trades. If you're really pushing past a little bit past the window, you can see how price really tried to push this 4/8 level, and then you get some consolidation, and finally it breaks back up for another scalp. But really, the name of the game is one or two good trades of the day, and that's what this system did. Excuse me. So, and then I really like, so that's time is number one, having the oracles with the price action, validate everything, and then you're done for the day, right? Gives you time to figure out what you want to do. So then I'm also working on a 30-day, protocol to hopefully help, well, it will help rewire my brain to be even more systematic on what I'm doing, because as I'm raising the stakes from 1, 3, 10 accounts, likely get to 20 next year, you need, at least I'm saying I need to have a cognitive shift on how I view things, and getting rid of that gambler, the revenge, all the negative things that we navigate as we get into the professional ranks of day trading. And so we have to kind of recognize that we are the algorithm. There is no perfect system out there. We know that. There's no signal that's going to save the day. The market shifts too much. We just have to find our levels, find our confirmation tools, and make the best decisions possible. And as we do that over and over again, that's where our success comes into play. So I want to establish this hierarchy where I'm trading from my rational decision making oriented brain, right? The prefrontal cortex. I want that to be the leader. And I don't want my trades to have any of the fear or greed or any of those negative things that can be the amygdala that can kind of cause problems, right? So the goal is really getting that prefrontal cortex as your main thing. So as I'm stacking these accounts, I'm not looking to take profit from them. My goal right now is I need to really get that rational part of my brain activated even more. And so I don't want to get that, so I can kind of keep that emotional part. And one thing that I've been looking at is the science-based things that we can do. So, for example, what we want to do in the morning before we even look at a single chart, we need to perform a 15-minute structured breath work or meditation. So this floods that prefrontal cortex with the oxygen, glucose, so it increases our execution function so that our ability can increase. So we can say no to, if the trade setup is not A, we have the ability to say no. We don't just jump on trades just because. And then the second task is getting into a checklist. So we write down our rules for the day every day. So before we do a trade, we write down the 3 things only: max loss, max trades, highest priority setups. For me, I'm only taking trades at the 8ths, rejections, bounces, so that we write this down. It preloads our decision-making pathways. And then B, we want to really, so the goal is, again, stacking these accounts is one thing, but the main job in the next 7 days is now to do a psychological observer role. So now what I need to do is log every trade, especially every impulse trade. So over the next 7 days, every time I see a setup where I feel the itch, the FOMO, the boredom, the impatience, to log it. And then I add some data points to it: time, emotion, greed and fear, impulse, action, the actual market outcome 5 minutes later. So I can track, the emotional side, then use the data points so that I can look back and review how it worked. So by the end of 7 days, I'll have a documented data points containing my top 5 trading demons. So that's 7-day goal number 1. And then phase 2, is to block the demons. So if you look at compliance, must replace profit as the highest reward. And I think that's the biggest thing, not chasing P&Ls, not chasing to get back. We need to interrupt the pattern. So there's a task that I want to work on. It's called the 3-second pause. Right? So once, for example, we get a trade here, you just do a 3-second pause. And this interrupts the primitive survival loop, which gives our rational brain time needed to confirm, hey, is this an A+ trade or not? So if we feel the urge to click before the 3 seconds, we must abort the trade regardless of what we want for P&L that day. So that's going to be that's like another 7 days where you're tracking how you're feeling during those A+ setups. And then the next task is that every trade has an assigned like score, a compliance score. So if I break a rule for my checklist, so if I enter on a B or C trade setup or trade it outside my time window, chase a trade, that score would be 0, and profit is irrelevant, right? It's all about process. So the reward, I'm looking to decoupling the reward system. I must seek, getting rid of that dopamine hit. I need to seek the dopamine hit of 100% compliance score, not a P&L amount. And so this is how, from my understanding of looking at research, how we can change and rewire our brain to be a successful trader. So I knew that before. I knew that I wanted to move toward a process-oriented. I just wasn't quite sure how to apply it. So now that I have this, 14-day plan. Again, the first 7 days is to get that itch out. The second set of 7 days is to work on that compliance score. And then after that, then I guess I'll go from there. But the next 2 weeks will be focusing on rewiring. And then once I get accomplished with that, I'll give you guys an update on how that's going hopefully doing day-by-day videos on how I'm going about this. So it'll be tricky because I definitely love the action. So that's kind of the goal, is to not love the action, learning to love the process of this. So I appreciate all you guys staying with me and going on this journey. Anyway, hope you guys are having an awesome Tuesday. I didn't really do my big trade review besides the ones I mentioned earlier. So anyway, have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.